You're all set here?
Excuse me?
Are you all set here?
Well, yeah, there's nothing else obviously you can help me out with at this point.
So you're all set. So you're going to go to IA right now, correct?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right.
I'm going to be going.
Okay.
I'm going to be going.
Okay. So you're going to stand here with your cell phone on?
I thought you were busy. I thought you were a busy man.
I am busy.
So you should get to work.
I should get to work? Is that what you're telling me?
If you're busy.
We're going to have a problem between you and I.
We're gonna do an interference.
His body camera's on. His body camera's on. Stop. He has his body camera on.
I don't care.
Stop,
I don't
man.
care.
Right?
This is private property.
Okay? I'm not doing anything.
You're not going to
I will get
videotape
off.
me and
I'll
have
get
an
off of
attitude
it.
with me.
I'll get
But
off
I'm going
of
to
it.
tell you what
Where's your
right
phone?
now,
I'll
dude.
get off of
I'm
it.
not
Stop.
the one.
All right.
Okay? I gave you the information
trying
you
to make a
needed,
complaint, that's it.
and I gave you your outlet. Right?
I'm
You were
going.
giving your
I
outlet.
said I
No,
was
you wanted to
going.
stand there and hold your cell phone in my face.
I
Is
wasn't
what
in
you
your
wanted to
face.
do. Yes,
I
you
wasn't
do.
in your
Take your
face.
cell phone and go and make your complaint. Okay?
Okay. Can I grab my cell
you stay
phone?
right here.
I'll get it for you.
All right. Where's your car at? Where's your car at?
Man?
Where's your car at?
I'm gonna go, man. I'm going.
All right, no, but where's your car
Why
at?
didn't you know where my car's at? You were about to arrest me, man, for real?
I had
Is your
to
body
detain
camera
you.
on?
Yeah, my body camera is on, buddy. I'm Trooper Costello, 1139.
Costello?
Yep.
Wow.
Listen, with the
You
situation
were
that
gonna
you're
arrest me for real?
we're going to detain you of what the situation was going on, man.
I'm
You're
leaving.
being...
Conversation's over. Go ahead. Stop. Thank you.
All right, guys. So let's try to figure out who was in the white van.
I'd just become Deputy Chief of Staff of the department, taking on some additional sensitive issues at DHS, and woke up in my apartment that night, a row house on Capitol Hill, to a really strange sound.
The sound that woke Miles Taylor is a common experience reported by dozens of Americans stricken overseas.
It was sort of a chirping, somewhere between what you would think is a cricket or sort of a digital sound. I didn't know what it was, but it was enough to wake me up. What was really strange about it is I went to the window, opened up my window, looked down at the street, and keep in mind, Scott, this is probably 3:30 in the morning, and I see a white van, and the van's brake lights turned on, and it pulled off, and it sped away.
How long did it last?
This whole episode only lasted about 7 to 10 minutes.
How did you feel the next day?
Off, not ready to go to work, kind of wanting to take the day off, sick.
Then, about 5 weeks later,
It happened again. Okay, let's analyze what this guy just said here. So, a couple of things. First off, this guy works at the Department of Homeland Security. Every single one of these people, all of these people that have experienced this, these are people in positions of the security industry. They're spies, national security. Every single one of these people knows and has known the entire time, just like the Army did in 1996, that radio frequencies can be used as weapons. That, as the Army put it, that they can be adapted from existing radar units. This is in 1996. Apply Moore's law of the exponential growth of technological capability, and by the time you get out, it doubles every 2 years. So things change quickly, right? These people all know what this stuff is. They've always known, and quite frankly, they're not stupid. They've known that this was being used on Americans on a large scale. Getting off the subject here, who was in the white van? Well, the white van was almost certainly false flag. And that means that the white van had nothing to do with what this man experienced. It could also be a complete coincidence, although it's a little odd at that hour of the night. It's that classic creepy white van. It speeds off. It seems to be almost designed to make him think that the white van had something to do with it. Now that makes sense, right? Because you don't want this guy to know, or anyone to know, that it is the satellites above you. You want them to think that it's the white van, and that's what false flag is. Why they would do it to a guy who I just have to assume already knows that these are satellite-based radio frequency weapons using radar systems is bizarre, because you're trying to trick a guy that should already know the truth. But let's just say he doesn't. And here he is, on national TV saying, well, the white van. It has nothing to do with the white van. Okay, just like the woman in the beginning here who was walking down the steps at the White House. There isn't the white van across the street from the White House, okay? It's the satellite above. as I've said in other videos, everybody with a radar-equipped satellite is a suspect, from the corporations that build them, and quite frankly, I think the corporations are the most likely culprit at this point because, well, they have the most to. I think they're. Let's break it down. Corporations, domestic or foreign. Well, the foreign adversaries, sure, they certainly have something to gain by trying to sicken us, but they also have something to lose and are also going to be the primary suspects. We're always going to say, well, it was China or Russia. So by them doing this, it certainly brings attention quickly to them. The people who would get away with it the most would be the corporations, because no one seems to even be mentioning them, and no one wants to accept that it could be domestic. So who was in the white van? It wasn't what was attacking him, that's for sure. It was meant to confuse this man, which is hard to believe because he already knows. He works at Homeland Security. He knows everything that I'm telling you because he knows that the Army wrote this in 1996, and he knows. He works in intelligence. So why they would need to try to trick him is just bizarre. But let's get to why. Let's combine this into should be a second video. Why are these people attacked in the first place? Well, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to the people who had been using microwave and radio frequencies on Americans covertly for decades to influence their behavior, because it brought it to the public light. It brought this to people's knowledge. It's now, until the newsman tells you it's real, it isn't real to most people. Now it's real to everybody. Their children are now stricken. You can't hide that. The kids are falling over. They can't stand up straight. They've got memory and speech issues. Okay, their little, vulnerable brains were damaged at an early stage of their development, and it might be permanent for those kids. It's sick. But this is the worst thing that could have happened to the corporations, intelligence community, foreign, domestic, whatever, that have been using radio frequencies on Americans for decades to make us sick. Now, again, I always go back to page 8 has so much in it in Bioeffects. It may be useful to provide a disruptive condition to a person not aware of the technology. This is why it's important to make us aware of the technology. Adapted from existing radar units. Those, of course, can be on satellites. But the Army even determined that you can control natural mechanisms like motivation, attention, memory. Okay, all in the late 90s, all of a sudden the kids had ADD. We've had chronic fatigue. What was chronic fatigue? It's a new thing. Why is everybody so tired? Because they're being microwaved on a large scale. Just like these water droplets are being microwaved, because that's what radar is. It uses microwave frequencies, right? So we've known this. This has gone on for... you can affect the activities. You can affect behavior such as sexual, aggressive, road rage, mass shootings, ingestive, the obesity epidemic. All of these things have happened in the last 25 years, and you can explain them with one paragraph in the Army's testing, and it can be done easily on a large scale using radar technology, which is 100 years old. It's so obvious. So why were these people attacked? Well, we have to suspect that the people that attacked them wanted us to know about these capabilities. Do you see what I'm saying? No one who wanted to get away with doing it secretively would have done this on such a large scale to people who have a voice. If I tell you this happened to me, everyone's like, yeah, whatever, that guy's just making it up. But if these people tell, they have credibility. They work in intelligence, right? They're credible people. They're healthy. They have no reason to lie. So if it happens to them, it ruins it for everybody else. So we have to suspect that the people that did this to them may have done so to bring awareness to this reality. And in that sense, it actually means it's a good thing, because these people have become victims, but it might have been necessary, because up until this happened, no one really accepted, even though everybody knew it was happening, no one wanted to accept it. So now it's real. So you could have people in the United States military who grew a conscience, who were upset that this was being used on children in schools, that was being used on Americans on a large scale. Literally every American has been exposed to this on some level at least once. You could have people in our own military or Air Force or even a corporation that decided, I can't stand that this is happening. How can we help people understand that this is real? Well, we might just have to overtly attack people who will then come forward and tell their story and bring awareness to this. That is the most likely cause of why this happened. But as I've said before in previous videos, when it's anybody that is a satellite, like, you could have corporations doing it, you could have domestic parts of U.S. intelligence or military agencies doing it, you could have foreign people doing it to various people for various reasons. But who did it to these particular people? Well, someone that wanted to know that it was happening, someone that grew a conscience. The people that attacked these people might be the good guys. And I know that sounds a little hard to accept, but they needed to do it to somebody who had a voice, who would be believed, who could go on 60 Minutes, who would be taken seriously. This may be an unfortunate but necessary part of the process to help people understand just how powerful radio frequencies are, how easily they can be used to affect human health, and that they have been used on people for decades. And it shows. Exponential rise in obesity, chronic illness, suicide rate, especially amongst teens, mass shootings, pharmaceutical use, everybody's on drugs. This is all caused by radio frequencies and microwaves delivered by radar units. That's a fact. Eventually, we'll all accept it.